Tonight on News Prime, Federal Ministry of Affairs flags off 2025 International Women's Day celebration. In business, Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria kicks against importation of premium motor spirit. On foreign scene, ECOWAS health body calls for action against Lassa fever. Tonight in sports, 13th ECOWAS African Wrestling Tourney begins in Abuja. Hello and a very warm welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Prime on Global Television. Coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja, I'm Uyi Agmofwegbe, reminding viewers that Global Television is on DSTV, channel 365 and Star Times 276. You can download the Global TV Nigeria mobile app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our 247 broadcasts. Let's begin tonight by telling you the Federal Ministry of Women Affairs has officially flagged off the 2025 International Women's Day celebrations with a strong call for bold and decisive action to advance gender equality in the country. Honorable Minister Iman Suleiman Ibrahim made this known during a media briefing in Nigeria's capital. Our correspondent Queen Agaba now reports.
With this year's theme, Accelerate Action, the minister emphasized the need to break barriers, close gender gaps, and empower women and girls to take their rightful place in society. Acknowledging Nigeria's progress in enacting gender-responsive laws, she noted that full implementation remains a challenge.
In the last assembly, the 9th assembly, we had 9 senators out of 109. In the 10th assembly, we have 4. There's a decline. So I think it's a wake-up call. Sometimes you have to come down to go up.
The minister highlighted key areas requiring urgent attention, including economic empowerment, gender-based violence, and women's political representation, further revealing that under the Nigeria for Women project scale-up, the ministry aims to support at least 4.5 million women nationwide. She also decried the rising cases of gender-based violence, referencing recent tragic incidents across the country.
As part of an agenda for this administration, you'll see that the president appointed an essay on women's health, because we know that women have health issues. Our ultimate goal around the health, health and the health sector for women is to have 6 specialist hospitals for women and children.
Meanwhile, she commended President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for increasing the ministry's budget for the first time, describing it as a landmark step towards institutionalizing women's empowerment. She's also set to lead Nigeria's delegation to the UN Commission on the Status of Women, where she will showcase the country's progress and forge stronger global partnerships for gender justice. The ministry says it remains dedicated to fostering a more inclusive and equitable society for Nigerian women and girls. For Global Television, Queen Agaba reporting.
Thank you, Queen Agaba. The Nigerian Senate has suspended Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan for 6 months over a dispute with Senate President Godswill Akpabio regarding seating arrangements. The suspension was recommended by the Senate Committee on Ethics, Privileges and Public Petitions, citing her violation of Senate rules and disrespect towards the institution. Kikelamo Okiri reports.
The committee chairman on ethics, Senator Imanson Neda Bernard, representing Edo South Senatorial District, submitted that the committee carried out an investigation during which the female lawmaker was afforded the opportunity to state her own side of the story. He read the committee's reports during the plenary. During a suspension, Senator Akpoti-Uduaghan will face several restrictions as salary and security details will be withdrawn. She will be barred from entering the National Assembly premises and she will not be able to participate in legislative activities or represent Nigeria in any official capacity.
That her office will be locked up for the duration of her suspension and hand over all Senate properties in her possession to the clerk of the National Assembly. 5, that for the duration of her suspension, she cannot come or be seen within the vicinity of the National Assembly, including her staff.
A cross-section of lawmakers in their contribution expressed concern over the conduct of Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, insisting that the Senate as an institution must be protected at all costs.
The amendment of our rules to the hearing of every senator is very key. And should you go to your liberalism and begin to do cooperative collaboration in these chambers, then there will be complete breakdown of orders. And of course, in a society where there are no rules and orders, I think it's an animalistic society.
What here was a flagrant disregard or maybe a misunderstanding of these rules. Your Excellency, these rules assures that this Senate is stronger as a whole than the sum total of our parts.
To do what is needful as a matured and responsible woman. But despite that appeal by my neighbor, she went and destroyed the names of prominent leaders of this institution.
Who comes to equity must come with clean hands. You cannot at one end seek to take refuge under certain provisions of the rules and in another arm seek to violate it.
Then my advice and appeal to her will be that she spends her period of suspension to read and learn our rules very well, so that when she comes back to the Senate, she would have come back as someone who understands this rule.
Everywhere, including Berekete Radio, calling number 3 to come and explain things. Just a radio that we licensed is an insult. My role now is how to bring this integrity back.
One works to do for our people. We are not sent here because of all these intrigues and all this rubbish. We are sent here to work for our people. Let the decision of the committee let it stand. Thank you.
Well, thank you so very much, Kekalama, for your reporting there. Following the commencement of the Ramadan fast, price of dates and other ingredients essential in preparing Ramadan meals have continued to fluctuate. In Kano State, a Global TV correspondent, Idris Jibrin, visited the city's largest dates market in Kofa Wambai and now reports.
Inside this 15th century Kurmi market in Kano, brand of this simple but essential tool for counting supplication are coupled and sold. For traders here, the improvement in the trade has recently led to significant reduction in price of charbi. You see, over the years we have been doing the trade of charbi in this market, and there are so many people who are benefiting from this trade. Our children, you can see we have different varieties of charbi in this market, and so many people are benefiting from this trade. They are making a living out of it. As central to spiritual life of Muslims, charbi comes in different forms, from the traditional hand counters to the high-tech digital devices or finger counter.
It's from many countries, from Egypt, Oman, Qatar, Iran, China, Saudi, India, Pakistan. Almost 10 countries, they are producing charbi.
Traders say the growing number of young entrepreneurs has led to a significant price reduction this year.
A lot of people, they are using charbi, they are working on it, and they are selling. Even if you go to the road, you see any junction, any danger, you can see some people with charbi. They are selling by pieces. It's our people. They need helpers. They want the government to help them, because before, if you have 5,000 naira, you can sell charbi. But this time around, because of something, so many things is increased. So even 50,000 cannot enough for you.
As old as Kano City itself, Kurmi Market has continued to remain a place where culture and tradition binds together among Muslim faithfuls in northern Nigeria. From Kano, Idris Jibrin, reporting for Global Television News.
Meanwhile, the Asian Kurumi market in Kano is well known as the place to find merchants of Charabi, a tool used by Muslims to count supplications, especially during Ramadan. Again, Idris Jibrain examines this trade as the demand for Charabi increases among Muslims in Kano State.
Salah season is here again. Abakiri and many other traders in Kantunkwari textile markets have been waiting for this moment. This year, business is brisk, and more good news awaits. We are happy this year the price has come down, and more people are coming here from different parts of the country to buy textile materials. For nearly 3 decades, Razina Sani has been coming here to buy Salah textile materials for her children. She says this year the price is affordable. I have been coming to Kwari since when I was 7 years old. I can tell you that this year is different. Textile materials are not expensive like before. Over the last couple of years, however, chemically imported fabrics from China and other countries of the world seems to have replaced local textile industries in Kano. Traders say the price would have been more cheaper. Assuming our local textile industries are operating, no one will dare complain of price increase. But now we have to import from China. Despite these disturbing challenges, people across Nigeria and beyond have continued to troop for their Salah textile materials, largely due to reduction in Nigeria's inflation rate. From Kano, Idris Jibrain reporting for Global Television News.
We appreciate your reporting this Friday night, Idris Jibrain. The Imo State Police Command has reaffirmed its commitment to ensuring a safe and secure environment for residents. As part of efforts to enhance professionalism and service delivery, the command is currently undergoing a 45-week in-house capacity building program in line with the vision of the Inspector General of Police, IGP Kayode Egbetoku, to develop a highly competent police force. Global Television correspondent Marachi Ibe now takes it from here.
Also commended his officers for upholding integrity by rejecting a 1 million naira bribe from a suspected child trafficker. He described their actions as a demonstration of the force's commitment to professionalism and public trust, adding that the suspect has since been charged to court.
I think they have shown the highest number of professionalism. They rejected bribe, and they want the suspect has been charged to court after rejecting 1 million naira from the suspects. And I urge all the investigators, they should emulate what other IPOs did for rejecting bribe. They did not compromise in their investigation, and by His grace, we will never compromise in our investigation.
The guest lecturer, CSP Shaba Adamu, delivered a session on opinion evidence, competence and compellability, equipping officers with essential legal knowledge to strengthen their investigative and court-related skills. He emphasized the importance of applying these insights in their daily operations.
We all are aware that we are police officers, and I'm going to discuss an area of evidence. And in the evidence, I'm going to touch opinion evidence, and I'll discuss about competence and comparability. It is so that through every man is a competent witness, but not every man is a comparable witness.
With continuous training and a commitment to ethical policing, the Imo State Police Command reassures residents of its dedication to creating a safer and secure environment. From Owerri, Amarachi Ibe, reporting for Global TV News.
Let's remain in Imo State a little longer tonight, everyone, where the governor, Hope Uzodimma, has reiterated his administration's commitment to partnering with the military in order to sustain peace and security in the state. The governor made this known during a courtesy visit by the General Officer commanding 82 Division, Nigerian Army, Enugu, Major General Olufemi Olatoye, at the government house in Owerri. Again, Amarachi Ibe was there for us.
To significant security improvements. He urged the ministry to intensify efforts in ensuring stability across the state.
I inform you that in Imo State, we have the best interagency cooperation, where both the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Police, the DSS are working together. For the past 6 years, we have never witnessed any rivalry among our agencies in Imo State. It's a credit that we also want other states to emulate.
In his remarks, Major General Olatoye said his visit was aimed at familiarizing himself with the state's leadership and reaffirming the military's commitment to its security mandate. He commended Governor Uzodimma for his proactive approach to governance and encouraged the continued use of non-kinetic strategy in tackling security threats.
The visit is actually designed for me to ascertain the operational readiness of Sector 4, appraise the challenges as well as their successes. It is equally a time for me to appeal to Your Excellency that you should not be tired in the coordination of all non-kinetic measures to eradicate all threats to security in Imo State.
As security remains a priority, both the Imo State government and the Nigerian Army are strengthening their partnership to enhance peace and development across the state. From Government House Owerri, Amarachi Ibe, reporting for Global TV News.
Brilliant reporting from Ori for us tonight, Amarachi Ibe. Thank you. You're watching the live broadcast of News Prime with Uyi Agmofwebe. When the rest of the news returns shortly, Eto wins sports court battle to stand in Confederation African Football election. We'll bring you those details from the world of sport, as well as more stories from business and foreign. The second part of this news broadcast now returns with business, where the Bank of Industry says it has disbursed 180 billion naira as loans to 912 women-owned businesses in demonstration of its commitment to bridging the gender gap and accelerating economic opportunities for women entrepreneurs in Nigeria by expanding access to financing and business opportunities. Speaking at the bank's commemoration of International Women's Day 2025 themed Accelerate Action, the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer, Dr. Olashupo Olushi, acknowledged progress in gender equality but highlighted persistent challenges. Despite improved domestic refining capacity in Nigeria, major oil marketers have continued to import refined petroleum products as they imported 6.38 billion liters of premium motor spirits and automotive gas oil in 5 months. However, independent marketers and retailers, through their various associations, kick against the development as the importation of these commodities gulped about 6 trillion naira. On the foreign scene, the Economic Community of West African States, through its specialized health institution, the West African Health Organization, has urged researchers, policymakers, healthcare professionals, and stakeholders to contribute to strengthening regional health security against Lassa fever and other emerging infectious diseases. The organization made a call in a statement while announcing the second Lassa Fever International Conference, which will hold in September 2025 in Côte d'Ivoire. The conference, with the theme Beyond Borders, strengthening regional cooperation to combat Lassa fever and emerging infectious diseases, is aimed at advancing sustainable preparedness and regional coordination for Lassa fever through enhanced research and development capacity. At least 18 people, including 4 children, are wounded in an overnight Russian attack, that's according to Ukrainian officials. The country's energy minister says Ukraine's energy and gas infrastructure also came under massive missile and drone shelling. Now time to bring you some excitement from the world of sports. The 13th edition of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS African Wrestling Tournament, has commenced at the velodrome of the Moshood Abiola Stadium in Abuja. A total of 55 athletes from 11 countries are competing for top honors, with each nation represented by 5 wrestlers and 4 officials. Speaking at the opening ceremony, the Director of Youth and Sports Development for ECOWAS, Ambassador Francis Njagwani, highlighted the tournament's importance in fostering cooperation and unity among the 12 ECOWAS member states. The Court of Arbitration for Sports has ordered the Confederation of African Football (CAF) to allow Cameroonian football chief Samuel Eto'o to stand as a candidate for its executive committee. CAF had refused to accept the candidacy of the former African Player of the Year, who has headed the Cameroonian Federation since 2021. The African Federation is scheduled to hold the election during a meeting of its General Assembly next week. As Global Television News Prime comes to an end, let's take a look at some of our big stories tonight. The Federal Ministry of Women Affairs has officially flagged off the 2025 International Women's Day celebrations with a strong call for bold and decisive action to advance gender equality in Nigeria. In business, despite improved domestic refining capacity in Nigeria, major oil marketers have continued to import refined petroleum products as they imported 6.38 billion liters of premium motor spirits, popularly called petrol, and automotive gas oil, diesel in 5 months. On the foreign scene, the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, through its specialized health institution, the West African Health Organization, has urged researchers, policymakers, healthcare professionals, and stakeholders to contribute to strengthening regional health security against Lassa fever and other emerging infectious diseases. And finally, in sports, the 13th edition of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS African Wrestling Tournament, has commenced at the velodrome of the Moshood Abiola National Stadium in Abuja. And that's all we have for you on News Prime tonight. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365, Star Times 276, as well as you can follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen using @Global TV NG. You can also download our app, the Global TV Nigeria mobile app for your Android and iOS devices to keep track of our 24/7 broadcast. On behalf of the entire team here domiciled at Global Television's world headquarters in Abuja, Nigeria's capital, I'm Uyagmo Fuegbe saying thank you so very much for your time with us and have a big weekend ahead of you.